On now to Ellerslie on Boxing Day, which dawned bright and clear. And of course, it's one of the big days of the calendar in New Zealand. Well, on the day, Ring the Bell made absolutely no bones about the New Zealand derby.
He shot away 2 lengths and they'll have to catch him. Summertime Lad, El Casino the outside, followed then by Looking Up. Ring the Bell under the whip, El Casino out wide here. Summertime Lad coming after them, Armville recovering. Ring the Bell clear though in the derby, 2 lengths clear. Here's Armville dashing in it late. Ring the Bell won it from Armville. Summertime Lad, El Casino.
Jeez, I had a great Nigel fact for Nigel Tiley, but I can't upstage Glenn Tucker. Nigel Tiley, good morning. Thanks for joining us on TPL Live. I don't know whether you're in front of a TV or not, but did you get to catch that footage?
I did actually. I had you on, so I had to run and mute it. So I took the last 200 metres.
Jeez, that must take you back.
It does. Goodness me, it's back in 82, I think, wasn't it, or something? 81 or 82.
I remember going home after school and watching Glenn Tucker on TV when I was at primary school, so it's taken me back a fair way too. The Nigel fact, anyhow, here it is of all of the Twitter accounts that you follow. There were no fewer than 2 Nigels born in the UK in 2016. That was down from the peak Nigel year of 1963 when there were 5,529. So it's a less popular name, but Nigel, we know how popular you are with our punters. Riadini, can you get them home today?
Yeah, look, I don't see any reason he can't win today. Aidan, he's absolutely thrived since he's run at Tauranga. And he's full of himself this morning when he had to trot the can around. Look, I'm very happy with him. He's got a nice score today. We were a little bit worried last time. I think he was about barrier 7 off the top of my head. And I sort of said to Nicky, you're going to have to make the decision when you jump out whether you're going to roll forwards or whether you're going to sort of snap him back a little bit and get a bit of cover, because I was unsure about 1400 and I didn't want him to be 3 deep with no cover. So I think he just got a bit of a check when he jumped out the gates, and so Nicky made the decision to ride him back that day, and he finished very strongly. But you've got to be careful in these small fields because they can be sit and sprint and sort of cat and mouse stuff. So you probably you want to be sort of somewhere close to them on the corner, I think. Okay,
so there could be a chance here for Sam Collett to really ride this horse positively.
No, I don't want him coming out. I don't want him coming out with the afterburners on. But I just think from that draw that he could probably lob nicely into sort of 3rd or 4th spot with a little bit of cover. We want to sort of see how far we're going to be able to stretch him to before we sort of make any decisions where we go next. So riding him positively from the barriers, I don't think in the long term would be the correct thing to do.
One thing, in all 3 of those wins, they have been easy. He hasn't been winning them by a small margin. I think the smallest winning margin is 2 1/4 lengths. Does that say something about him as a racehorse and just how much he does want to get away from them?
Yeah, look, it shows that he's got the ability. He's got a very good turn of foot once he gets going, and and he's got a high cruising speed once he's put under a bit of pressure. So he tends to hit the front sort of 200 metres out and just keep going at the same speed. So he's quite exciting.
What do you expect from him today, Nigel?
Oh, look, I'd like to think. I mean, I would expect him to win. I mean, I can't see any reason with the right run why he couldn't win a game. He's probably. I think we weighed him this morning. He was 4 kilos heavier than what he was when he won at Tauranga. So that just that indicates that he's absolutely thrived since that race.
Yeah, absolutely. Where does this race fit into his preparation? I know you're sort of talking maybe about stretching him out further, but what's coming up for him?
Yeah, look, I'd like to think safely through today, and if he runs the 1,400 metres out strongly at Ellerslie, we'd definitely be looking at the guineas.
Okay, good to hear. Big team 4 in for you today, and they all look like good chances. Really keen on finding out about Demonetisation, who just wasn't at anywhere near his best in Queensland, but he certainly showed what ability he had before going. What about in preparation for this? How's he doing?
Yeah, he's doing really well. His work this week has been superb. I scratched him last week because I was a little bit concerned about running him on a good 3. But I had a good talk to Narendra this morning, and he was very happy for us to send him round today. And I mean, look, if he doesn't stretch out today on the good 3 track, well, we can just play around with him for the next 6 weeks, and then have him, pretty ready for an autumn prep after that.
Yeah, well, he's run 4th in an Easter handicap, so an 82 company. It's just a matter about how forward he is. So, is he forward enough to be winning?
Yes, he is, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, 2 other runners for you. We've got Zach Alicious in the 1st and Brugel in the 5th. Can you give us a push for those as well, Nigel?
Yeah, look, Zach Alicious, I think she just ran into a pretty smart horse last start. She's very consistent. She tries very hard. I think today's race was actually an afterthought for her. When I looked at the noms, when I did my other nominations, I just sort of scrolled through what's in the other races, and there were only about 4 or 5 noms at that stage, and I thought, well, we'd be silly not to put her in. The 1600, I think it will definitely suit her, and she certainly hasn't gone backwards since her run at Tauranga. So, look, she's with the right run, she's got to be hard to beat, I think.
She is by power, but could she be an Oaks filly?
Well, I've put her in the Oaks. It's sort of when you've got a 3-year-old filly that's running on at the end of their races over 12 and 1400 metres, it's silly with the how early the nominations are for these races. It's silly not to put them in, because you can always withdraw them on the way through if they look like they're not going to be able to cope with that distance.
Okay, well, thanks for joining us today, Nigel. I know you got a decent team that all look like good chances to best luck with the 4 runners.